There you go. There's recording in progress. And what we might do is please feel free to put questions into the chat, and we'll make sure that Deborah, who is here, will field those questions, and there'll be time for questions at the end. So if that's okay, I will start by introducing myself. I'm Sam Clifford. I am the CEO of Jewish Women's Aid, and it's so wonderful to see so many wonderful supportive faces on this Zoom. I'm going to hand over actually to Joanna Black, who is our new chair, who wanted to come and say a big thank you and a few words to you all. So Joanna, where are you?
Hi, I'm here. The camera is a terrible camera, so I'm really sorry. But hello, everybody, and it is an absolute pleasure to speak to you all tonight, because I think you all are real, true champions. So thank you. You give your time and your energy and your heart to JWA, and I can't thank you enough, really, for that. You are the people who are really making a huge difference, supporting our women and children who need us. So thank you so very, very much. Deborah and Sam have put a huge amount of effort into this weekend, and I think it's more than just fundraising, isn't it, guys? I think it's about showing that we stand together as a community, and showing our survivors that they're not alone. And that we are saying to the world that no woman should suffer in silence. So we really need your help and your support in doing that. And obviously every penny raised and every conversation had, and all your energy and all your effort with really makes a massive difference. And thank you all so much. I am brand new into the role, as Sam said, but loving every minute, working with a really incredible team. They're a total pleasure to work with. And all the volunteers and everyone that I've met have been amazing. And together, as women together, we really are making a huge difference. So thank you. All the work and everything that's gone into this fundraising weekend is nothing down to me. I'm just riding on everyone's coattails, but thank you guys. Really, you're amazing, and I appreciate you all so much. So thank you, Sam.
Thank you so much. And it's really wonderful to have Joanne with us, and so excited and lending so much support to this amazing campaign and our work all throughout the year, because as you all know, our closest support is how important the work that we're doing. This year's campaign is called The Ripple Effect of Domestic Abuse. And it's basically, the aim of this is to show that while domestic abuse might in theory have one victim, one survivor, it is all about those ripples and how so many people are affected by one instance of domestic abuse. And we can see here we're focusing on Cara's story and all the various people in her life who are affected by domestic abuse and her experience, but also how Jewish Women's Aid can support each individual person to really turn those ripples of abuse into more positive waves of hope, that we can encourage and change lives and really empower and make life-saving changes. So it's really important for us to be sharing this campaign. I'm going to move on to the next slide, if it's going to let me. Hang on, I can see what I can do. Right, so just going to do some basic stuff, because it's actually really important to do it, and to make sure you all are armed with any questions or things that you might be asked over the course of this weekend. So what is Jewish Women's Aid? And it's embarrassing to ask that when one of our founders is on the Zoom room and can tell us all about it. But Jewish Women's Aid is the only national charity that supports Jewish women and girls and their children affected by domestic abuse and sexual violence. And we provide culturally sensitive services across the entirety of the Jewish community. A few stats, and sometimes we feel that we can get immune to stats, but the point of actually the ripple effect and all of the work that we're doing is to put the person behind those stats. That we're talking about Cara being the one of the women in 4 who will experience domestic abuse in her lifetime. We're also the stats around sexual violence are equally as horrifying, 1 woman in 5. And it's really important to know that while we might sometimes take comfort in thinking it might happen in other elements of the community, or women who don't look like us or feel like us, it affects all women, regardless of age, education, class, lifestyle, or religion. And unfortunately and sadly, the Jewish community is no different to any other. And that's why it's so important that we have this amazing service for Jewish women by Jewish women, because so many women will phone us and say, you just get it. I don't need to explain to you why it's so difficult to me to phone, why Pesach is a difficult time for me, issues around the get. We just understand and can provide those culturally specific services irrelevant of religiosity. I'm going to talk a little bit about what we provide. So we, at the heart of what we do, is very much around safety planning and risk reduction, providing that religious and cultural support. And it's absolutely about specialist therapy for women and children. So women can have up to a year's worth of counselling. We can also provide parenting classes for women, and we have amazing play therapy for children as well. We also have a huge amount of work going out into the community to make sure we're doing all we can to create a safer community for everyone through our outreach and prevention programs. We can also provide benefits advice and access to welfare grants, healthy relationships and consent training, and also some access to legal guidance and support. And that's just some of the services we can provide to the over 800 women we saw in the last year. Yes, so this year, year on year, the need for our services grows. This year, we saw a 24% increase in the women and girls who are reaching out for our help. And with all that is going on in the world, with all the demands on our services, we really need this weekend to make sure that we can raise as much money as possible and awareness to ensure that we can raise the essential funds that we need to ensure and to respond to the community's growing need. With you and all the work and amazing empowerment you are going to do over the course of this next few days, you will make sure that no woman or child faces abuse alone, and that is absolutely vital. I'm going to share Nicole's story with you. I'm going to give a warning that this is a difficult film to watch. It's a case study of Nicole's story. It is performed by an actor, and it really tells one story of domestic abuse and the ripples of how that goes. So I'm going to share it now. It is a difficult watch, but it's a very powerful watch. There is nothing that is violent to watch, but it's her sharing her story. So I'm going to share that with you now.
I was 20, having a great time at uni, and we met at a JSOC event. He was charming, sweet, everybody loved him. I felt lucky. After uni, I missed him terribly. He'd call every night, he'd bring lunch to the office. I thought I had found the one. Things changed after we got married.
So many questions. Where are you going? Who are you seeing?
He said he was just worried, and I believed him. I stopped wearing bright colours and seeing certain friends. The list of people that he didn't like kept growing. I missed them. I needed them. And then I got pregnant. I thought it would bring us closer. He tightened his grip. He got angry. He said that he was protecting me. But it felt like a punishment. Then there was the finances. He took control. He said he was better at managing money than me. At first it was a relief. Then I needed shoes for the kids. I had to start asking him for permission, even for the weekly shop. One night we were arguing at the top of the stairs and he grabbed me and he said, one shove and he could end it all. The look in his eyes terrified me. The next day, flowers. But I tensed every time that he came home. The kids felt it too. They stayed quiet, invisible. My eldest son stopped laughing, mimicking his father, controlling his siblings. That broke me. I was terrified to leave, but I was even more terrified to stay. One day, when the house was empty, I called Jewish Women's Aid. My hands were shaking. My heart was racing. My voice was barely a whisper. I didn't know what to expect. I didn't know what they could do. But they listened. They understood. For the first time, I felt believed. I learned it wasn't my fault. I wasn't overreacting. I was being abused. Without the bruises. JWA never gave up on me. They helped me understand my options, and when I was ready, I stood up for myself. They're specialist children's therapists, are helping my children to heal. We're all beginning to heal. I wish I could say that my story ends here, that it was over, but he keeps dragging me through the family court over and over again, bleeding me dry emotionally, financially. But JWA is still by my side. I'm not alone. They're helping me rebuild my life, rebuild myself. Quite simply, they saved me. And it's thanks to you. Without you, there would be no JWA. Without you, I don't know where I'd be. And for all the women that are yet to come, please don't forget them and the help that they will need. Thank you.
Okay, I'm going to just stop sharing for a second, just to let the film sit with you for a moment. That is the campaign film that we'll be sending to you to share with people that you're going to be sending it to. I hope you agree it is a powerful film and gives voice to a survivor's story and helps to share what we're doing. So I want to just give a moment to share that with you and to let that sit with you. I also want to just say what we're going to do now is we're going to go straight from that into a bit of the practicalities around how the campaign is going to work, the website that we are using. So I'm going to go back to sharing and I'm going to hand over to Fund Nation, who are the organisation we are working with to do this. We're using a different campaign, so I'm really excited to hand over to Milan Levy, who is going to talk a bit through about how the website and all the donations and all the various things you will need to do will be working. Thank you.
Hi everyone, hi Sam. Thanks for the intro. The video was really amazing, and just to see the work that you guys are doing is truly unbelievable. My name is Milan. I'm originally from South Africa, and I've been running Fund Nation for about 5 years now. And it's a real pleasure to be working with the whole kind of JWA team and all the champions and really everyone here today. I want to run you through just a very, very quick demo. And if you don't mind, I'm going to share my screen as well, Sam, just to show you how a typical donation would work. Excuse me, to explain just how a typical donation will work. And then I'm going to introduce Sharon as well, my colleague, who's going to also walk you through a bit more of kind of the practicality there as well. In the next couple of days, on Thursday, I think Deborah might speak about this a little more too, you're going to be receiving an email from Fund Nation with your unique link. And this is basically the link which is specifically for your champion page, which can essentially be used and should be used to be shared far and wide, which we'll talk about in a moment. I want to share my screen for one second here, and to show you kind of what it would look like. Okay. So what you're seeing at the moment is essentially the fundraising page, and this is really the center hub for the entire JWA campaign. Each person has their own unique link. In this case, you're on Alison Schindler's page. We've pre-populated these pages already. We've added in everyone's messages. We've added in all of your details. And just so that you're aware of what's going to be happening, every time a donation comes through, you'll be notified. And I'll explain it to you in 1 second. If you want, you can always scroll further down into the page you can actually see, all the different teams that have been set up, and with each person who has their own kind of unique page. Just to show you how really simple it is, a donor is going to come onto the page, they'll press donate now, they'll enter in, their details, how much money they want to give, for example, and all of their information into the page over here, their phone number, etc., etc. If they're a UK taxpayer, they have the ability to do gift aid, and they can basically just click big pay. We'll automatically send this person through to a payment gateway where they can, if they're on their phone, they're able to use Apple Pay or Google Pay or anything like that, or put in their credit card details. And literally a second later, the payment goes through straight away. It's a super simple, super easy process. And basically that's it. And the donation will automatically say, successful. What's really cool about how the system works, just to show everyone, is that as soon as, a person has donated to a specific team, that team will receive an email notification to tell them that they've received a donation, as well as every team, and on Thursday you'll receive this in the email, but every person has access to this dashboard. And this dashboard will actually show you, how much has been raised and in what position you are. So, the person who's raising the most amount of money will be in position 1, and you can really kind of see where you're ranking, according to all of the other champions. As well as, see everyone who's made a donation to your team or to your champion page, as well as the message that they might have left you. Just to say, we're here to support you. Both Sharon and I and Deborah and the whole team, Sam and everyone, I'm just here to support you as much as possible. Sorry, there's a funny noise in the background. Yeah, just really want to show that it's a super simple, super seamless process to make that donation. And I think I just want to bring on Sharon for a second, who wants to talk also a little bit more about some of the practicalities, and while I stop sharing my screen. But yeah, thank you so much. And I'm Sharon for a second.
Thank you, Milan. Thank you all. I'm so excited to be working with you. You do amazing work, Sam, Deborah and the team, and also, of course, the champions that are here tonight and those who might be listening on the recording in a few days. Deborah, do you want to just move the slide, share the screen and move the next? So I'm kind of helping with this campaign, and my area of expertise, just that you know, is I run quite a few campaigns as a fundraising director, as a volunteer. I think I was part of a campaign already, 5-6 years ago. So I've kind of been a champion, been a team leader, and I know what it feels like. It's a little bit daunting. And I just wanted to share a few tips that we feel we get from different campaigns and different charities, and I feel that they resonate across every single campaign. So the first thing that you have as champions is you've got a fantastic professional team behind you to support you, the likes of Deborah, Ruth, Nicola, Sam, and obviously myself and Milan. If you have any questions or are stuck or not sure what to do, or you just need anything, just be in touch. We really love to help and come up with ideas. No question is a bad question. So in terms of what happens, as Milan said, you'll receive your unique link, which is the kind of URL that if somebody clicks on that, it takes them to your unique page. The whole idea of these campaigns is obviously to raise funds for JWA so you can continue doing your work. But it's also a really important opportunity for JWA to share across the community that you are there for women who need your support. The work is also about awareness, making everybody aware aware of JWA. So, you are asking for support from a financial point of view, but you're also wanting everybody to know about your involvement and why you are involved with JWA. I can assure you, if you send out a link and ask somebody to support you financially, nobody's ever not going to invite you to a Shabbat lunch or a bar mitzvah or wedding. That's never happened. You can try as hard as you can to ask people to support you, that they'll still support you. And even more so, they are in awe of what you do for this charity. So don't be embarrassed, be proud. This is one of the things that we see, is that people actually like to hear from you and like to know what your involvement is, whether you volunteer, whether you man the phone, whether you've come into the office. It's exciting for people to hear. One of the things that I tend to just re-emphasize and say is, don't just stick a WhatsApp message on a group chat or a WhatsApp group. It is really, really important when you send out the messages, try and be as personal as possible. You know, even if it's just a short message saying, hey, it's Sharon, could you please help me? I need to raise some money, is better than sending a long message to a lot of people, because people hide behind groups. So if you can personalize it, cut and paste, write something personal, that will more likely give you results. Say thank you. I know sometimes you send out a message and somebody replies saying, oh, I've already donated to somebody else's page. That's great. That's amazing. You could say thank you, and you could ask them if they might want to forward your link to somebody else. We do have the option on the donation page for people to choose a donation and split it between as many teams as possible. But sometimes that doesn't happen in time. You know, somebody gets a donation, they send a donation, so that happens. But just be aware that it's always nice to get a thank you and an awareness, even if they don't donate to your page. At the end of the day, they are donating to the campaign. So it's really kind of, you know, have the confidence to reach out to everybody and anybody. Don't worry about sending the link to somebody that might have received it from somebody else. It doesn't matter if somebody gets 3 or 4 messages from different people in the community. That is far better than somebody not receiving a message. So you don't want to, nobody wants to be talking to a friend in a few weeks' time saying, I didn't know about this, I didn't get the message, I didn't get a link. You're better off sending it to everybody who you feel may support you, even if that somebody else might get there before you or after you. That's more important. So I think, you know, it's a fantastic charity. It's a campaign. It's a very strong campaign. The messaging is clear. It's hard to watch. It's hard to delve into this, but it's so, so important. And families across the community will be proud to support you. So, you know, and we're here behind to help. Next slide. Many of you have been part of these kind of campaigns, and I know it's always good to kind of get a refresher, but the way it works is you receive your unique link, which will be sent to you from FundNation email as well as an SMS, I think. And if you don't get your email and you don't get your link, just contact Deborah or contact someone in the team and they'll make sure you get it. You then send that message to your friends and family, either through an email or a WhatsApp. And as I said, the best way of doing it is a personal, you know, real personal approach via SMS or WhatsApp. Send a few messages out, see what happens. You've got that great dashboard to check and see, to remind yourself who's donated and who hasn't. Your friends, family get the link, they click on it. It's super, super easy. If they get it on the phone, there's a link on the phone. It says donate. It's literally 3-4 clicks and they can pay with Apple Pay. Gift aid is registered. They can also ask a callback if you've got family members who are not comfortable doing anything on the phone. They can request a callback and somebody from the team will call them and talk them through how they can donate. Also, we work with the voucher companies. So if you've got charity checks, that's also really fine. There's really every single way we can take. There's no reason. If somebody wants to walk into the office with cash, that's also fine. Deborah will be there. And that's kind of how we suggest you go. So, you know, have a think about between now and the weekend who you might want to reach out to, you know, your core family, your core friends. And then if you're a little bit braver, you know, come Sunday evening, Monday, if they haven't donated, maybe pick up the phone, send them the link, the video link, maybe for them to see. But yeah, it's a really simple process. And I can assure you that you will see great results once you start sharing your message and your request with your friends and family.
That was a rookie mistake. I was muted. Thank you so much to Sharon and everyone at FundNation. We are so excited and really welcome your partnership. I'm going to stop sharing and just to see if there are any questions for anyone with us. Thank you so much for the champions who are with us tonight. It's amazing. You are part of a whole army of champions who are going to be making sure the whole community is talking about Jewish Women's Aid and helping to support us. So we're really grateful for you being here tonight, and we'll share this with those who couldn't make it tonight over the next few days. Does anyone have any questions about the campaign? Yes, Ruth, I can see you have a question. You might need to unmute yourself.
Yes, I mean, sometimes people come to tea at my house and they bring cash, and yes, and how can I add a comment, a thank you on my donation page so that other people can see that they donated?
Okay, so we can ask, it was as if you had read Deborah's mind, because she just sent me a message to say that if you do get cash donations, we can list them on the page. Deborah, do you want to, or Sharon, do you want to talk about how we can acknowledge those on the page?
Yes, so we can add, hi Ruth, we can add any donations if you just let me know in advance on the day, whenever. We can add them by name if they want to be listed by name, or we can add them anonymously, whatever they would prefer. And then you would be able to, you would get a message saying this person's donated, so then you can go back to thank them, but you would be telling me about it in the first place anyway. But yeah, you can definitely let me know of those donations coming through, because I know that you're hosting an event for us on the Sunday, which is amazing, Ruth. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Ruth. That's wonderful. Any other questions? No. Great. Well, then we're 1 minute over what we said we would give you half an hour. All that really falls for me to say is just a huge thank you. You will receive an email from Foundation and some WhatsApp messages, which will give you everything you need to know. You're on the WhatsApp group, so if you need to ask for any help, we are there. You've got Deborah's emails. I also want to take this moment to say a thank you to Catherine Becker, who has been our trustee, who has led this campaign to this point, and a huge thank you to her. And a very early but heartfelt thank you to each and every one of you for everything you will do over the course of this campaign. We're going to change lives, and it's down to each and every one of you who's going to help us to do that. So a huge thank you. Let's get the money rolling in. I'm really, really excited and grateful for all you're going to do. Thank you, everybody. Good night.